A few years ago, I read three books based on the partition of India, and it completely changed my life. These three books moved me so deeply and they made me feel so many things, and so I decided that I had to do it again. In this video, I'm going to be reading three books based on India's partition, independence struggle, as well as just political things going on in India. And I'm going to take you guys along with me. So let's go. The first book that I picked up is Independence by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni is one of my favorite authors, so I couldn't wait to start reading this one. This book follows three sisters, Deepa, Jamini, and Priya, and it talks about how their personal lives are affected by the political activities taking place in the country in the year leading up to independence, mainly focusing on activities that take place in Calcutta and the small village that these girls are from. But overarchingly, this book talks about the price that one has to pay for freedom, both personal as well as for the nation. So I finished reading this book and I quite liked it. There were a few things that I didn't like, which I will get into, but overall, I really enjoyed this book. Like, I'm filming this a few days after I finished reading it, and there have been a few things that have just stayed with me, and this book made me feel very, very emotional. So, firstly, I just have to say how this book, like, the first thought that I had when I was reading this book is just how this is kind of like an Indian Little Women. Like, the sisterly dynamics between Priya, Jamini, and Deepa are very Little Women like, or even Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. The vibes are the same. Like, Deepa is the pretty one, Jamini is the dutiful daughter who also has a slightly envious side, and Priya is the feisty one who wants to like do something with her life and like build a career for herself. So, like, the vibes were a little bit like Little Women, and I loved that. Like, it was like Little Women, but it didn't feel like a Little Women copy, and so I really, really enjoyed that. The second thing that I really liked is just how Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni has woven the threads of independence, both personal and national independence, through the stories of these three sisters. Like, that part was just chef's kiss, honestly. I mean, kind of what she has insinuated through this book is that the partition of India into India and Pakistan is the price that we had to pay as a nation to gain independence. And similarly, because of all of the political situations that these sisters find themselves in, they need to pay a price for them to then attain their own independence, their own freedom, to attain their dreams. And so, the main thread of this book, which I think is just so beautiful, is just how independence, freedom, whether it's national or personal, comes with a cost, and what that cost is, and just the emotional turmoil that comes with attaining that freedom. I think those threads in this book are just beautifully done, and I really, really enjoyed reading Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni's writing. Again, I love her books. Palace of Illusions and Forest of Enchantments are some of my favorite books, and that writing is also there in this book. It's just so beautiful and poetic. The other thing that I really like in this book is how the beginning of each section begins with like this short paragraph that kind of sums up the political situation in India, and it's almost written in the form of a screenplay. So it kind of reads like you're reading a play of sorts, and I think it's just like really, really craftfully done by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. She's just done a brilliant job with the writing in this book. But now, coming to two things that I didn't like. The first thing is Jamini's character. I can't be the only one who found her effing annoying. Like, all of Jamini's POVs just had me feeling so annoyed when I was reading it. Like, I understand the girl and I feel for her, but oh my god, she was so annoying and unlikable. Like, the thing that I didn't like about her character is just how the thing that she desired in this book, I feel like she just felt that she was owed that thing because she was a dutiful daughter. And I'm like, no, you're not owed anything just because you're a good person. Like, you still have to do something about it, and you still have to, I mean, like, the thing that she wanted, firstly, like, it wasn't in her control. And so the fact that she felt entitled to it just because she'd had a hard life and just because she was a dutiful daughter, I just felt it was extremely selfish, and I did not like her POV. That it's not that, like, Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni wrote her badly. I just didn't like her POV, and I found myself feeling very annoyed when I was reading her POV. And the second thing, and this is more of a critique of the book, the first one was just like my own personal nonsense. But the second thing is, I felt that the ending of the book was a little bit over dramatic and a little bit cheesy. I just feel like for the dramatic ending that we got, everything just wrapped up too cleanly. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read this book, what you thought of the ending. For me, it was a little bit over dramatic and cheesy, but overall, I really, really enjoyed this book. Like I said, the threads of personal versus national independence, chef's kiss. The next book that I picked up is The Far Field by Madhuri Vijay, and this book doesn't have to do with India's independence struggle, and it also doesn't have to do with partition, but it does have to do with Kashmir and the political turmoil that has wreaked havoc in the valley. And so I feel like leading up to Independence Day just felt like the most poignant time to pick up this book, because the events of independence and partition have definitely affected Kashmir, and reading about it, I feel, is very, very important. This book follows our main character Shalini, who has just lost her mother. And in order to process that grief, Shalini goes on a journey of self-discovery, but also a discovery of her past. And so she basically packs up her bags in Bangalore and she heads over to Kashmir to meet this man who used to come to her home to sell clothes and who had formed a strong bond with her mother. And so in traveling to Kashmir and meeting this man, she wants to uncover a piece of her mother as well, like to uncover more secrets of her mom. But also this entire journey has led to self-revelations as well as revelations about the political turmoil that has taken place in Kashmir. This book has some of the most flawed, toxic, and unlikable characters. And so after I finished reading it, I didn't really know how to rate it. The thing about this book is that it covers certain aspects of the political situation in Kashmir, and that itself is an extremely complicated and complex situation. And then it also talks about grief, which is a very, very complex and complicated emotion. And so to talk about both and to give both enough weight, I think, is a very difficult thing to do. But Madhuri Vijay has done a decent job at that. One thing I will say though is I didn't quite understand a lot of the main character's motivations. Like, I didn't understand why she had to go to Kashmir and seek out the clothes seller and what she was trying to learn from there. Like, I didn't understand a lot of her motivations until the end of the book. I didn't understand a lot of the motivations, and I didn't understand exactly how the main character's journey and the journey of the Kashmiri people who are there in this book, how they sort of tied into each other. I remember, like, I called up Smriti from Sant Reads, who's a dear friend of mine. I called her up to ask her, like, did you get it? And she kind of she basically said that she read it as the main character dealing with the loss of her mother, whereas the Kashmiri people are dealing with the loss of their land, like the loss of Kashmir, and that's how both stories are tied together. But honestly, I didn't see it that way. To me, it read a little bit disparate, and that is my critique of this book. But the feeling that it left behind in me is definitely that as people who live in cities and as people who have grown up in cities, not knowing exactly what the situation is like in Kashmir, and the only thing that we see is like what we see on the news or what we read in newspapers or what we see in movies. Like, we don't understand how the political turmoil that has wreaked havoc in the valley, We don't know how that has affected day-to-day lives. We don't know how that affects every person living in that region. And I feel like this book has shed some light on that and onto the fact that we live in so much privilege and safety, and because we don't really know exactly what's going on over there, it's unfair for us living in our amazing apartments in cities to pass judgment on anything that is going on in the valley without understanding all of the facets, without understanding nuance, basically. That's what I took from it, is that I need to educate myself more on what's happened in Kashmir, of what's going on. And this book, even I know it's fictional, but it shed some light in onto why people might be feeling the way they feel in that region. And of course, there is another side as well, and I need to educate myself on that side. But basically, reading other books on the issue, reading historical non-fiction books about the issue, all of those are very important to really educate ourselves as to what is happening in the valley, why it's happened, why is it happening. This book has definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it's one that will definitely propel me on that journey of figuring out more about the situation. So yeah, very strange review. I did give this book 4 out of 5 stars, but it's left me with a lot of like inner turmoil, I feel. But yeah, very, very thought provoking and interesting book. So read it with caution because it's a heavy one, but very interesting nonetheless. And the last book that I picked up is Remnants of a Separation by Aanchal Malhotra. This book literally talks about partition stories, but it tells it in a very unique way. Basically, these stories are centered around the items that people brought with them as they were moving from either India to Pakistan or Pakistan to India, and the sentimental value and the emotions that these items held for these people, along with the sentimental and emotional values that they held for the land that they were leaving. Those are the threads that Aanchal Malhotra has woven together with her stories, and they are just so beautiful. This book is so emotional. I'm about 3/4 of the way done through this book. I'll probably finish it today, but I need to film this portion to be able to put up the video in time. So I'm filming this before I finish the book completely, but it has been such an emotional ride till now. The stories that are mentioned in this book are so heartwarming, but they're also so heartbreaking. And it goes to show just how devastating the partition was in terms of lives lost, but also in terms of just the absolute horrors that the people who survived had to go through. And the stories in here highlight those horrors, but it also highlights just the sheer resilience of these people to completely abandon their homes and move to another country and have to rebuild their lives, but also then live with the fact that they'll never get to go back home. And also, like, this concept of what home is like described so well in this book, is that for these people who are displaced because of the partition, their home is on the other side of the border. But because of politics and because of just things that happened, they're never able to go back. Like, there is this one story which talks about a certain language that is spoken only in one village in Punjab, the Indian side of Punjab, and how basically, because these people moved to Pakistan, how that language has kind of died out in their family itself because no one else speaks it. The people who speak it are on the other side of the border, and so their language, their culture, that heritage is completely lost for these people. And that's so heartbreaking. Also, just like memories that these people have. Like, if we have childhood memories, we can easily go to these places and visit them, revisit them, and sort of, revisit our childhood. But because of the political situation between these countries, our country and Pakistan, like, these people, it might be difficult for them to come back to what was their homeland and revisit memories of their childhood, revisit the places where they grew up, where they went to school. Like, this book just like is so emotional. And yeah, the concept of what home is, the concept of the shared cultures that both these countries have, and yeah, just also some really heartwarming moments where when people came back to India from Pakistan, how they were greeted and treated by the people of that village. Like, yeah, so many heartwarming stories, restores your faith in humanity, and also very heartbreaking. Like, there are things which are mentioned in here which talk about like the horrific crimes that were committed against women during partition, and I feel like we don't talk about that enough. Just like, yeah, the mutilations, the rapes, the killings that happened, especially with women. Yeah, that was quite difficult to read in this, but just, yeah, this book is just has just filled me up with so many emotions. Mostly it's heartwarming, but also there are some difficult things to read in this. It's also broken my heart in a bunch of places. I have cried in so many stories. Like, so many things about this have filled my eyes with like happy tears, but also sad tears, and also like tears of anger. Yeah, very emotional ride. Highly recommend. This is definitely going to be a 5 out of 5 star read for me. And yeah, I will hold this near and dear in my heart. So yeah, that was my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you think about them. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.